Hi, Matt.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh,
I guess
good, good.
you figured it out.
Yeah. How you doing,
That's
man?
good. Feeling
Good. Yeah.
better.
Me too. Yeah. Great. You look okay. Yeah. I hope you're doing much better.
It really wasn't nothing, and my dad even asked me like when he came over to fix my bathroom sink, had so much gook in it that was clogging everything, and
Oh,
it's fine now. Like my dad, he knows how to fix like almost everything. Like
wow.
one of those engineer guys that um. So he came over, and then he's like, uh as he was leaving, and he's like, yeah, whether he was first coming in or leaving, it's like right at the bottom of the stairs. He's asking me like what actually happened, and I was like, because he thought it was actually like in my chest, like I was feeling pain, like my abdomen area. I was like, no, it was actually just my leg. Like I don't know if like my leg gave out, but it said it's like my I felt like my leg was jumping. And then apparently that my leg was jumping, and that apparently what caused me to like fall off balance, and um but
Oh, well, I'm very glad you're better.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it was a terrible concern. I mean, even because I text my dad and Jill in a group chat, and they were both like, my sister Jill, in matter of fact, she was scared even more because she was afraid it was my shunt malfunction again, and I I kind of like had confidence that it wasn't my shunt again because I didn't feel like any head pain, and like I said, it was no pain in my chest at all. It was just down on my leg jumping. That was it. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
and then I went to the convenience store when I got home from the friend's house earlier today, and thought my dad was gonna stay after he fixed the sink to have a couple of beers with me, but he oh I only had three left in the refrigerator for when I went to the convenience store. My Jill was like, "Oh, buy some Gatorade," and so apparently that convenience store closer to the house didn't have Gatorade, but there was Powerade. I was like, "Okay, that'll work." Um, so I bought four of those, and then another 12 pack of beer. Just like I said, not knowing, thinking my dad was gonna stay for a little bit, um, but I know him. He liked the, you know, because he liked going to the one bar, and then it's like he wants to be home like fast enough. So it's like he's done with something. It's like he just wants to be on the road and get home.
Oh,
So
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
uh,
That's good, man. I went
how
to PT. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna ask you, how are you doing?
Well, today finally walking better. Went to PT today. Uh, HR and Sam are giving me, between you and I, give me a rough time. I would like to go back to work next week, but they start in with these doctor's notes and this, that. My doctor's on
Uh,
vacation. So I plan to be there next week. But I had a long talk with HR yesterday. The woman in charge, Madeline, she wasn't so, she's a very nice woman, but she got a little testy, if you know what I mean.
a little feisty, yeah.
Yeah, but all right. Health is
Sorry
wealth.
about
So
that.
thanks, buddy. But health is wealth. I'll just let the pieces
Yeah,
fall in place.
yeah.
And, I see Will Warren's pitching tonight, his major league debut. It's 1-1 in the second.
Yeah, it's a concern about Cole. He has a little bit of a scare again.
Yeah, terrible. Body fatigue, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, body fatigue is what it
Yeah,
was.
I like
There's a
still
Henry.
see Henry.
Yeah, he's on it. I
Oh,
can't hear him though.
yeah, I have three dots on the bottom. That's it.
Oh, he's connected to audio. Yeah,
Yeah.
connected to audio now.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, Mr. Yankee. Hey, buddy.
Oh boy.
What's happening?
Maybe
Man,
we
I have all
lost him.
three. Good. I have everybody put on the same screen.
Could you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you now, Henry.
So good. Nice tie, man.
Could you see it?
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
What's guys, what's this?
Let's see. I'm on my phone, so
19,
it's tough to.
1839, 1939. If I'm looking at it right,
I'm on my
that's
phone,
all
so I
I
can't
really
quite.
made out.
Yeah, I can't quite make Centennial.
Yeah,
Centennial.
no, it was a 1939 patch that they used on that year.
Oh, cool, man.
All right, well,
Yeah.
tonight, before I get started, whether Ray joined us or not, it's fine. I know Heresy got his thing, so, but anyway, before we get started, just tonight's gonna be a little different, compared to our normal. The subject is gonna be on shark conservation. I hate saying,
Okay.
or so a little bit. I think you guys will enjoy it as far and take a learn for education on shark conservation and whatnot. I'll try to be real brief on it, and then we could go with the normal baseball talk and all the trades that happened today and whatnot. But let's start with Henry's request.
Presenting our nation's colors for tonight's game, please welcome the Texas Department of Public Safety Honor Guard. Here to honor America with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome from right here in Texas, multi-platinum selling recording artist, Cody Johnson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Happy.
All right. I actually just found that one on the last spot. I didn't really have that one planned out. I just thought it was cool though. Is it like recent? I mean, the All-Star game, what was a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's get into our shark research and conservation, as I'll call it. I actually put this together into a questionnaire. Obviously, last minute. So obviously, our first quiz trivia question would be, why do sharks attack? You might know the answer to this because we were talking about it before. But I'll just shout out the answer. Most of the time a shark attack happens is mistaken identity. So all your
Mistaken identity.
all your fears about, like, oh yeah, I'm scared to go in the ocean, I'm sharks are in there, all this and that, sharks are gonna, they're killers, and that's totally like a false statement. The main reason why, it's like I said, mistaken identity is Sharks don't have very good vision. Um, especially like white sharks, for example. Is when the water is really murky, which mostly it is on at shorelines because of the sand, and the other chemical and materials that are in the ocean as well. Sharks can't see that well, so they're gonna mistake. They're gonna go see what's on. One, they have awesome sensors, so they can smell. They can smell a drop of blood from miles away. But majority of the time, it's mistaken identity is they're colorblind, so they got to think what's in the water splashing is what their prey is. So, for example, surfer, divers, they're all wearing black wetsuits. They're gonna think will think that, especially white sharks, that they'll think that the seal. So, majority of the time, it's mistaken identity. There are different types of attack. There's one where a shark will go nibble and then just release because they realize it wasn't their prey. There's other times where sharks will be aggressive. They'll start bumping into objects like boats, for example. So the next trivia question I wrote down is,
Matt, before
What's
you
the-
proceed, can I ask you a question?
yeah,
What's the biggest you ever heard of a shark? Like the biggest you ever heard that a shark was? And do you remember anything?
you mean size wise?
Yeah.
Oh, let me to answer that. Let me share this with you. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see that on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. The top one, 15 to 16 feet, that's the largest of a female great white shark. Males, they're a little smaller. They're more like 11 to 13 feet. Now there have been recordings that there have been white sharks around that are larger than that diagram I just showed you. Most sharks, the maximum the reach is, and obviously this is talking white shark, because white shark, obviously, other than the whale shark that could reach over 30 to reach a little over 30 feet long. And whale sharks are actually they feed on plankton, but they're like a big mouth, so their mouths are like wide open, and then it sucks up like everything in its path, kind of like whales. Only it's really a shark because the tail it's flapped back and forth, not up and down like a whale. However, for white sharks, there have been reports that there's some white sharks that grow a little over 20 feet. I think the largest one that was recorded was like 25 feet. But anyway, the next trivia question I have is what's the term used for telling the difference between a male and a female shark? I like I said, I knew you guys wouldn't know the answer to this. It's actually the term is actually it's actually a single word that's used on a watch, and you think of a clasp on a watch band, like a clasp. They're actually called claspers. And let me share another photo. Okay, so see on the male compared to the female.
Yes.
See, like those two little things that look like penises off the back of that fin on the male. That's a clasper, and what it is basically that somehow when the sharks mate, That's those clasps are just seriously like attached somehow to the female, and that's how like sort of like the embryos of a man and a woman, that fertilized egg that forms and whatnot, and um that actually answered the one of the other questions I had as far as how shark pups are made and whatnot. That basically that's once the sharks mate, and the way mating is on sharks, they actually like bite onto each other. Um, so like a male shark will actually bite a female, and then it's like a lot of times in the ocean, especially white sharks, you see a lot of like ripped scars, like heavy, severe scars on them. Um, and so
Matt, I have a question for you.
yeah,
I've seen photos of Navy, um, not deep sea divers, scuba guys,
yeah.
but their uniforms now. Some of the uniforms are beige and white and orange.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that another thing too is, and this goes into what I was saying about mistaken identity earlier is, and this isn't just like you know law enforcement officers, military officers, etc. Is the more you wear bright colors in the water, the less likely you are encountered to a shark attack. And like I said, it goes into mistaken identity because sharks most of the time they see a really dark object, it's on their food source. To answer your question, Henry, yes, there's a thing that mo people wear bright colored out wetsuits, for whether they do it on purpose or it's part of a uniform that that is that is around. Wants to guess how many species of sharks there are? That one I'll just give away. That's over 500 species of sharks, or pretty much 500, over 400, but 500 species of sharks. Uh, One of the
do
other
shark
questions.
do
I'm sorry?
sharks do are sharks like whales? They sing. Would you know?
Not no 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 not really. They don't sing. You'll hear sharks, especially white sharks. You do hear them growl or like roar like a bear kind of. Um, but not so much singing as far as like vocalized singing or like echolocation like a dolphin, for example. Um, Obviously sharks come in all shapes and sizes. So I mean, you got sharks that are only 3 feet long. You got sharks that are 10 feet long. You got sharks that are 20 feet long. And obviously, like I said, the whale shark could grow over 30 feet long.
Are the 3 foot ones? Do people try to like how can I say this? Like not collect them, but do they have them in like in
It's usually a bunch of, I know what you're saying. Usually like sharks like that, like the reef sharks to sandbar sharks to sometimes the leopard shark. And you think a leopard shark, yeah, it actually has like spots and it's like that yellowish, actually looks like a leopard. Uh, they're not like anything near they the smallest shark actually, and this is the one where I go into 3 feet, is actually one that's called a cookie cutter shark. And this thing has like a very irregular circular face and just like sucks on like a suction, and then like inner is like all their teeth. So like when you see somebody getting bitten by one, it's like the wound is just like a round circle, almost like a bullet wound.
Were there
But
were there ever any professional teams? I think called the Sharks. I think there was one, right?
Well, there's the San Jose Sharks.
it's a thing.
And-
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's the San Jose Sharks in hockey.
Yeah.
Was there ever like
I'm
a
sure-
baseball team and like a college team called the Sharks?
I mean,
Mm.
we have the Wilmington Sharks here,
Oh, you do? Oh, you
um,
do? Okay.
which is I mean, like it's on the college gate level, so it's not like minor league or professional. It's mainly made up of not only college players, but it's mostly made up of college players. But there are some, that um I never even went to a game this season.
You've
No,
seen
I
Sharks in
think
when you go to San Diego, you've seen Sharks,
when
right?
I went to San
Oh,
Diego,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's the San Diego Zoo and aquarium where you could see sharks. But I mean, I never seen a shark in the wild except for when we were fishing all the time, getting a little reef shark.
Yeah. I
Just
was
because they bite the prey.
I was mentioning more like the San Diego Aquarium.
You know, I
Um,
saw whales. They were amazing, though.
Yeah,
Whales and San Diego, the museum.
yeah.
You went to
I went.
you went to an aquarium?
Well, that big one in San Diego. What's it called? Marine Land, mate? No, it's not Marine Land. It's in San Diego. Maybe it was San Diego
I
Zoo.
gotta ask my buddy what it was because they
Well,
just went there
Yeah, it
recently.
was great though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
don't you have like a shark tooth somewhere in your
I
friend
have
gave you?
I have multiple shark teeth. This one.
We don't see anything.
No.
All right, hang on one second. Let me. Okay. Yeah, turn my background off. That's why. You see it now?
Wow.
No.
You don't see it, Ian?
No, but I'm on my phone, so I guess my screen's not
Oh.
as.
Oh, okay. This is actually a meg tooth, a megalodon tooth. So this right here. This is a 3-inch
yeah.
tooth.
Got it.
Compared to like, look what's on my necklace. And this is like a small sand shark tooth. So meg teeth were like about 3 times the size of a normal shark that's in the ocean today.
Is that supposed to be the one that when you watch Jurassic Park, they always have like this super big one, or that's an exaggeration?
Well, the meg there's multiple myths going on right now between whether the meg still exists, like because people are still finding meg teeth on beaches and shores and whatnot, and off of dive wrecks and stuff like that. That's how I got mine. My two is because the guy that I bought him from, he does that for a living. He goes diving off wrecks and he finds them, and then he just turns around and sells them. They're not cheap, obviously, compared to like a normal shark tooth today. He charged depending on the size of the tooth and how like new the tooth is, like compared to fossilized in it. So that's how I got mutton.
What's the beginning price? Any idea?
Anywhere between 60 and $100 is starting. Like I said, depending on the size of the tooth and then how well the tooth has aged, whether there's still a lot of tooth left in it, or is it more fossilized already in the tooth enough that if it's more fossilized, usually it's cheaper. If it's like the tooth is still there, the more tooth fragile there, it's a little more.
Are sharks like elephants that they travel in families versus a loner? Would you know? You ever heard of anything?
There's called schools, obviously, yes, like fish. like whales, for example, orcas, which is the killer whale. They travel in whales actually call them pods. But some sharks travel in schools, other sharks don't. Like white sharks, for example, most of them travel individually. Like you'll like if you went diving in a cage right now off of Australia, off of Cape Town, South Africa, because those are like hot spots for white sharks. Or even if you go off Guadalupe Island off of California, and Mexico, you would find because that's another white shark hot spot. You would
Is it
find
safe? Is it safe to say that they're like warm water animals or both?
they're actually both. But white sharks, for example, they are actually warm blooded. So they have to like keep eating. They're different from like other sharks. They have to, so they're sort of warm blooded. So they're kind of like us, where they got to keep eating in order to maintain their body heat. Where some other sharks, they could go a little bit longer span.
Man, remember Jaws? Jaws, the movie.
Oh yeah, Jaws. What about it?
The first shark that they said that they found that wasn't the correct one. About how do you kind of remember about how long that
Yeah,
was?
that shark though that people caught, that they thought it was the main shark, but then the marine biologist, which played Richard Dreyfuss, and Matt Hooper, he actually, because he was a biologist, he actually did a measurement of the width of the mouth, and that's how he realized, it was a shark. It's not the shark that they were really after.
But do you
That was
remember how long it was when it was hanging on the pier? Do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't know for a fact like how big it was. Like I don't remember in the movie actually hearing the line of like how long the fish was. Obviously it was a tiger shark. Um, tiger sharks are actually almost like regular tigers in the zoo. They do have they actually have like black stripes all along their body from head to tail. Usually, actually, mostly more like right at a little past their dorsal fin towards the head. Not quite like all the way to the tip of their head. That was a tiger shark that they caught. From looking at it at the movie, it looked like it was like a 12 to 16 footer. It might have been a little bit less.
Now, Matt, I remember you read a book you shared with us about 2.5 years ago about a book that you read that you loved. Was that like a sea book with sharks, or that was a whole different thing?
A few years ago. It might have been, a book I was reading. The one I still have to finish it. Actually, I haven't even I've just been off on reading. I haven't really had interest in reading right now. So yeah, I actually have a hard copy of it. My parents had for the longest time. It's called the Blue Meridian: The Search for the Great White Shark, and
Okay, so it was a shark book.
yeah,
Ian, you ever read books on sharks?
Have I read it? Never read a book on sharks. I'm very interested in them, but I've never read a book on them. No.
Well, let me add this though. You know what Jaws was inspired by, right?
Somebody getting eaten by a shark?
Technically, yes. This actually happened in a lake in New Jersey. It was a bull shark, because here's the fact. Bull sharks, and originally I thought it was only a bull shark, but actually I learned something different. Bull sharks can correspond both in freshwater and saltwater. So like in the movie Jaws, for example, when you saw the shark swimming in that little narrow channel, that was swimming from salt water to fresh water. Obviously, they used the great white as Jaws, but that was actually in the filming of it was a bull shark because bull sharks could comprehend both freshwater and saltwater. Apparently, what Jaws was inspired by, and Peter Benchley, which is the original author of Jaws, was inspired in 1916, or like 1915 or 1916, way before any of us. There was a brutal shark attack in a lake in New Jersey, and it made headlines like crazy. I have the video on YouTube. I'll share it with you. But that was the main upsetting of like this man-eating shark, like because apparently that shark just kept terrorizing the whole city town, and people were dying like crazy with the shark. That's what it was inspired by. So then Peter Benchley, he took initiative and wrote the book, and then which let either last year or this year was the 50th anniversary of the book Jaws. Next year in 2025 will be the 50th anniversary of the film 1975. And so that's how it all became together.
I remember seeing Steven Spielberg in Legend.
Oh,
Yeah, he
very
was sitting down with Alec Baldwin.
Wow.
yeah. One last fact before we can move to the thing. There's something sharks have very good hearing. They have ears like us. Only their hearing is like 10 times, maybe 20 times better than us. Like they have amazing senses like smell as well. Like they could, like I was saying earlier, they could smell a drop of blood from miles away. But they have something on that makes up their structure. Oh, another fact before I get to this is sharks have an exoskeleton type body. They don't, and so that's like when most of the time in stores like beach stores and whatnot, you see shark tooth necklaces and whatnot, and even single shark teeth. That's the only thing that's left of a shark when it dies.
Oh.
The shark backbone skeleton is made up of the same material we have on our teeth, of MNO, like material, meaning their skeletal backbone breaks down over time. Or like for us example, like when we grind our teeth, for example, how it's really to grind the tooth down, and it's the same thing for a shark. So it decomposes over time, and that's where you're only left with the teeth as well.
Man, I know I've seen necklaces like with a shark tooth.
Yeah.
Are a lot of them like fake, like plastic, but they don't say it?
No, most of them are real shark teeth.
But have you ever seen anybody like try to market? Oh, they'll tell you it's plastic, but it looks like a shark tooth.
Oh yeah, obviously people are going to try to do that to try to make people believe that, oh yeah, it's a real tooth, but a scientist, you could go up to a scientist and they could like easily tell you it's fake. So yeah, there has been that.
You know what's wow? I've been to Florida near Disney,
Mhm.
in areas that are like houses, and they'll have a little lake. And
Yeah.
in the lake, they say you got to stay away because there's sharks in the lakes.
Oh,
Most of the time there, you'll see a bull shark in that area. Because like I said, bull sharks are other than what I learned from watching on Shark Week, that not only bull shark but also the great hammerhead can comprehend into freshwater as well. But most of the time, if you see a shark in a freshwater area, such as like what's in the Bahamas called the mangroves, or like river strips or whatnot, most of the time, if you see a shark fin there, or even the whole shark itself, most of the time it's going to be a bull shark.
Mhm.
So that answers your question there, Henry. And then obviously the last two things, if you guys are interested to follow, is OSearch, which is shark conservation on white sharks. They actually just are now expanded to do research over in the Mediterranean around England and whatnot for white sharks over there. And then the two of them that I follow on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I'll never,
X, yeah.
you know, I'll never get that. It's like people still calling the iPhone X or the iPhone 10. It's like Elon Musk. He can try to get everybody to, call it what he wants them to call it, or have people pay to use the platform for when they can, for just to get ad free ads or whatnot. And so but so it's OSearch, OCEARCH, and then the Atlantic White Shark Conservation. Those two are very awesome organizations to follow. It's you ever had the interest in following on shark conservation.
Hmm.
Obviously that obviously there's a lot of Yankee trades today.
Yeah, it's amazing though. San Diego, you heard, got Tanner Scott.
Yeah,
San Diego always either makes a big trade or a big signing.
they
Who
always
the baseball?
seem to find the steal. I know.
Yeah, they always wind up making the big deals. It's amazing with that team.
Yeah.
In your opinion,
They got-
Ian, was it a good acquisition?
For San Diego, outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego's always, they're kind of like the Dodgers. They're always, I mean, except
Yeah.
they're not the Dodgers because they spend the billions and billions of dollars. But I mean, they are, um, but but yeah, those two teams out west. They are like the biggest spenders on teams. I hate to say.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
They
like
really,
1979 that they got all those Yankees
who's
that
that?
Billy Martin was even managing?
Who was that for San Diego?
Yeah.
No, he was always in the American League, Billy. Dave Winfield started out with San Diego though.
But there was in the 70s, towards the end or early 80s, they got a lot of Yankee guys. Didn't they? There was a
Might have to check. I don't remember any though. No, but the Yankees, of course, got the big fish, Dave Winfield. He left San Diego, free agent. Yanks gave him 10 years, 20 million, which was a ton of money back then.
I remember this guy with the mustache. He became a San Diego Padre.
Raleigh Fingers?
Goose Gossage.
Oh, Gossage, yeah.
Gossage, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a year they had like 3 or 4 Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
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 Only reason why I remembered it because there was a bunch.
Oh, yeah. He signed, I think, a 5-year deal. He gave up that big home run in 1984 to Gibson to clinch the World Series for Detroit.
Did you guys, Ian, did you hear about that? Do you know anything about that guy that the recent one that I sent about the Yankees that some Spanish name? I know
Oh,
they lost that.
De Los Santos?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a minor leaguer at this point.
I know he's a minor leaguer. I'm just like, are you familiar with him?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I saw
Okay.
I saw the headlines, but no.
I'm just,
Of course,
I'm just curious.
yeah.
Was that
And-
the last acquisition today that they made?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they made a
Yeah.
lot of small ones. They got Mark
Yeah,
Leiter from the Cubs, Mark Leiter Jr.
Yeah, they got a couple of pitchers.
Yeah,
But
but
but yeah,
Is he-
as far as
is he
the
related-
guy I'm sorry.
Is he related to Al Leiter?
oh yeah, he's the nephew.
Oh, okay.
And I really like the Chaz Chisholm deal, though. I really think that he playing in Miami, he didn't get a fair shake because Miami's just a moribund franchise. You know what he said? He said when he showed up at Fenway the other night, it was the largest crowd he ever played before. There's just
Wow.
no excitement with the
I
Marlins.
remember-
So,
I thought I saw him in the interview too that he brought up about, oh, I played for the captain once. Then he's like, because like his first like post game interview that he did, I think with Meredith, as far as his how happy he was to be on the big stage, to be with the team, and
yeah,
how he was excited, and he wasn't nervous, and
He was
Yeah,
like
he-
really happy in the dugout last night. He reminded me of Willie Mays Hayes.
yeah, really. And the president of the Bahamas contacted him, and he said that everybody in the Bahamas is a Yankee fan.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't.
but it's
I
a
don't
good
think
pickup.
just real quick, I don't think I said this one to you guys about the Baltimore Orioles acquiring a left-hander reliever. You're gonna laugh at the name, Gregory Soto.
Oh wow,
You would think he's related to Juan Soto, right?
yeah, that's right.
I don't know, but
Yeah, and the Orioles traded Hayes to the Phillies last week. And Hayes
yeah,
just hit
they also
he had a 3-run homer against the Yankees a little while ago.
yeah so the Baltimore got Gregory Soto, and then Philly got pitching prospect Seth Johnson. Not that I know anything about him.
Yeah, because I was watching MLB Network, and just about every trade is a major leaguer for prospects. It seems.
Kevin Kiermaier went to Tampa.
Oh, he did. Well, that's his old. Yeah, his old
Oh,
stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. The Dodgers acquired Kevin Kiermaier from the Blue Jays.
From the Jays. Yeah. Oh, by
Yeah,
the way, our old Isaiah kind of Falefa was traded today to
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
I was gonna mention
Yeah.
him too.
IKF. Yeah.
I just looked. The Yankees are losing 4-1.
Yeah. I'm watching. I have this the picture on now. The screen. You heard about Cole, of course. Matt
What
and I were
happened?
talking about her. He's out. He has body fatigue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully he said I was reading something the other day where he thinks he'll avoid the IL, like it'll just be like a day or something.
Oh, like a
Yeah.
one-star thing. He's had a tough.
Yeah.
These things happen. It's just had a tough year. He's only pitched 35 innings this year.
And how about Warren struck, according to what I'm looking at, because they have like highlight videos. Warren's first strikeout was Harper.
Yeah, I saw that when I was watching it. Nice, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. But
Hey guys, remember this cap?
for Staten Island Yankees,
I
Yeah.
wonder.
yeah, yeah.
I have the pizza rat there somewhere.
Oh, the pizza! Wow,
I have the Pizza Rat shirt somewhere.
yeah.
Oh man, I got something on my back.
Oh,
I have that.
Oh.
I get that sometimes. I get that sometimes working in the restaurant where I have to like really scrunch up and like stretch my back out because like it just feels like stiff when I'm like standing like in one particular thing. Even if
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
moving my arms, it's still my back gets stiff.
Oh gosh, yeah. Tough.
Oh,
Yes,
and
tough.
here's Ray.
Oh,
And
cool, man.
Yep.
Henry,
Hey,
Ray.
how you doing, man?
Hey, can you guys
Ray,
hear me?
what's up?
Oh, wait.
I
Hey,
see you
Ray.
now.
Hey,
See, yeah. Hey,
Uh,
buddy.
hey, good to see you guys. I just
You
made it
too.
home.
are you giving a
Oh,
house?
wow.
Are you giving us a house tour, like just walking from room to room?
Kind of, sort of. I mean,
That's what it.
Yeah.
I
That's
still have
what
a
it
lot of
looks like.
stuff. I still have a lot of stuff. Let me switch the camera around, see if I can show you guys. Hold on. Hey, how do I do that?
It should be like a little button that has, like a camera symbol that has like a little rotating circular in it.
Oh, I see it. Yep. Okay. There we go. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
Nice.
still
That's
got
nice,
my
Ray.
nice job.
containers around. I still got some unpacking to do, but this is my new kitchen, my little recycling bin. I just got these chips at the store. They're not really that spicy, thankfully.
Oh,
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there might be healthy versions of Doritos. But yeah, I just, I moved in not too long ago. So
Nice living
as
room.
you can see, this little thing here is my makeshift couch for now, my two chairs
oh, I see.
until I get a
It looks
couch.
like you're giving an interview with somebody.
Right? It looks like I'm on MTV Cribs or that old show.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
Very
I have
nice.
a second bedroom here,
Wow.
where I just have my weight set right now, my router. So pretty bare
Yeah.
bones for now, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be, doing it up little by little, not trying to overwhelm
Cool.
myself.
Looks nice. Looks nice.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Yeah, it's a lot more
Um,
space than I had before. That's for sure.
that's
Ray,
good.
is it far from work?
No, that's what one reason I moved was it's a 6-minute drive now to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was about
Big
40 to
achievement then.
45. Oh, what's that?
I said big achievement then.
Yeah, it was a
Just
real
it's just
blessing.
more convenient. It's just more convenient for you.
Totally, yeah, absolutely. It's 6 minutes. I have like some of my closest friends are out here too, and then to see my friends back closer to the lake, it's not that bad. If it's not rush hour, it's about a half an hour drive.
What do you mean by the lake? What do you mean by the lake? Closer to Lake Michigan?
Yeah, closer to Lake Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I used to live.
Oh,
So then I moved west a little bit. And it's a nice neighborhood. It actually reminds me a bit of the Bronx in good ways. Not as I shouldn't say crime ridden because the Bronx has gotten better, but it's I would say it's a slightly safer version of the Bronx.
yeah.
Culturally diverse but very family oriented. Yeah.
Ray, I
That's
got a
good.
question for you, Ray.
Yeah.
I've always seen in movies
Mhm.
and programs when they show Chicago, they show like the same area with the overground, over with the elevated train and like 2 or 3 tall buildings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Chicago's bigger than that, right?
Oh, totally.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
but that's the part they always show on TV.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like how, in New York, sometimes all they'll show is downtown. They'll just show like parts of Manhattan. But here, yeah, I don't know how I would describe it. Let's see. I would say the city limits, right, of Chicago are like if you were to put, I would say maybe, what's a good example? If you put maybe the Bronx and Queens together, roughly, it might be like that. Maybe it's a little smaller than that. And then you have a
Yeah.
lot of like, suburbs and close suburbs like Westchester County, like how Westchester County is, and how like, Nassau County is pretty close. Yeah. So So for instance, the White Sox field, which don't remember what they're calling it now. It's not the Cell
Oh, look, all
anymore.
the corporate names, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I honestly forgot what they call it now, but that's located on the south side. So if you were downtown where all those trains are, if you took one of those trains south,
Oh.
you'd get there in like 15 minutes or so.
Wow.
And then Wrigley Field is a little further northwest. So that would be like taking the 4 or the 5 train from like Midtown or so in Manhattan up to basically where like kind of like where Yankee Stadium is.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
about a length from Grand Central to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, Wrigley.
Or
Yeah.
maybe a little bit longer.
If it were, you mean if it was like a train ride or if you were driving?
A train ride. What
Oh,
I'm
the
saying.
train ride wise, it's like roughly if you were like to take the red line, because all of our trains are colored coordinated here.
Mm.
So if you
Yeah.
took the red line from downtown to Wrigley versus the 4 and the 5 train, yeah, it's roughly the same. Maybe like take you 35, 40 minutes, maybe.
I got
But-
you.
So is that going from 42nd to City Field?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little, yeah. Actually, I think that's even a better comparison.
Yeah, that like I said, yeah, because the 7 train, then you got that curve out to Queens, kind of. So yeah,
Right.
a little bit longer.
Better go to the door.
Yeah.
Henry, just before I forget to tell you about it, I should have told you about it on the phone. The new soles I bought, I just wore them all day yesterday. I have not a single foot problem at all.
Oh, great. I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
You got to excuse me a second. Give me a moment. I'll come back. But you got the insoles
Yeah.
and you like them?
Oh my God. They completely such a game different changer compared to the Dr. Scholl gel pads one.
Yeah.
Guys, I was
Yeah.
telling him about insoles that
Oh,
they only sell them on Amazon.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. But give me just 1 second. I'll come
Yeah.
back.
Okay, I went to a foot doctor last year. I still have them. They were terrific.
Yeah.
Big help.
Actually, hang
I
on.
needed that for a second. I didn't want my chewing to bother you guys.
Oh, it's no bother, no
Yeah.
bother.
Mhm.
Wait.
Mm.
Oh, no, photos. Let me show you. I'm gonna share my screen and I'll show you the ones I bought actually. These are the insoles I bought.
Oh, cool, man.
And it shipped the next day. So it's like it shipped like that night, and then I got it like the next day. It was like, and I took out the.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I took the Dr. Scholl gel pads ones out and put those right on top of the really, even the ones that came with the slip resistant shoes. Those were like way thinner. They were like way too thin, and so like I just threw those new soles like right on top of them, and I haven't had any issues with it
Nice.
all day yesterday. Even walking all the way from the restaurant all the way to our friend's house for the cat. Before I had my incident scare. But I mean, just standing on my feet on those all day, like, and I think what Henry was saying this too, like, because he was asking me yesterday, like, do you like hard soles or do you like soft soles? And like I didn't quite understand what he meant at first. And then I think I realized it once I saw them when I got home yesterday, or the day before when I got them yesterday afternoon or so. The day before, I like, okay, maybe he meant like hard, like the heel part is hard, but like the toe part is soft, or I don't know, but either
Yeah,
way,
what happened
Yeah.
last year, I just want to add to what Matt's saying. Last year, I learned a lot about insoles. I was watching some program and they were talking about how NBA players, when they give their sneakers to kids, they pull out their insoles
Oh, wow.
Oh,
because the insoles are custom made. And I did kind of a lot of research, and apparently the the mindset of sneaker companies nowadays, they sell you a sneaker, but they don't sell you an insole
Yeah,
because
because I'm
make it properly, they gotta put money. So the one, Matt, the one you got was like $35, right? Or $55.
Let me share my screen, pull them back up again.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh no, not at all. This
good.
because this is mainly what we've been talking about. Oops,
Yeah.
hang on. These are the ones
Oh
that I bought.
wow, nice.
Yeah, they 29.99. You know, plus tax. You know, like you said, $35. And they shipped that night that I bought them, and then I received them like the next day. And
Yeah,
boy,
Amazon
they,
doesn't mess around, man.
No.
apparently they don't. Um, and and like I told you, I didn't want to buy like, you know, $50, $60 pair of insoles, and you know, they might. I know you kept saying, "Oh, you can send them back. You send them back," and you know, obviously, I had this thing rolling in my head the entire time, that even before they were delivered, and then but once I got them, uh, I was just totally blown away, and then um one, I didn't have to trim them. They like typically like um fit my feet perfectly. I didn't have to trim them at all. Uh and then I realized what you might have meant by insoles is when you asked me about hard or soft, the back end of the heel, that's like a hard carbonate material, and then the front of it where the toes are more of the foam area. And so like and even, you know, the heel part, it's like the bottom of it is polycarbonate material. There's still like a foam like structure for the heel itself for you to sit on. So I was like thinking, oh, maybe that's what Henry meant by a hard sole or a soft sole.
This is one of the ones that I use,
Let
and
me
on the back is hard, which is what you're saying. The back is hard,
yeah.
but the front is soft.
That's what I'm saying then. As far as the ones that I bought, it's like the back is like a polycarbonate hard piece.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little pad, like circular pad for the heel itself. But then the whole front of it where the toes are is the soft part. And I think that's what when I tried them, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe that's what Henry was meaning the hard back, and then those like the soft gel ones that I had, because of the soft heel, that's what was making the toes in the shoe, my toes in the shoe hurt as well, because it's like, you know, like the pain from your heel like travels kind of like a blood circulation like cut off. So I was like, that, oh, maybe that's what Henry meant, you know, like the hard back but the soft front. But anyway, it was, they were complete game changer. I put them on my
Yeah,
I put them in
Ray, let me
and-
show you what I showed the guys. The front is soft, but the back,
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's like
okay. So Matt, I
it's like
think
a
you're right.
yeah, it's like a polycarbonate material on the back, and then kind of like a hard case for a phone. And then
yes,
the front of
I
it,
remember seeing the program, and they were showing the basketball players pulling out
Oh,
the
yeah.
insoles when they gave the sneakers away.
And did they, like, when they pulled it out, was the camera able to pick up on the brand that they were using?
That I couldn't tell, but I'm sure at some point you could. But those
Maybe.
I kind of heard that they're between $1,200 and $3,000 for basketball
Wow.
players,
Wow.
That's crazy.
and then they'll
Um,
just give out the sneakers because they get them for free from the manufacturers, and just put a
Mhm.
new put the insole in the new
Yeah.
sneaker.
Oh,
Most
right.
likely, with my guess, most likely the stickers are part of the endorsements that they get
Yeah,
from
sure,
the
yeah.
company.
And
Um,
I used to always buy Dr. Scholl's, but then I got tired of and that everything was soft.
yeah. You were telling me that, Henry, you remember?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, oh yeah, you just buy all the different Dr. Scholl's, but they're all the same. They all hurt.
And they got the good one, which is gel, but I can't deal with gel. I feel like I'm walking on a pillow.
That's
Mhm.
those are the ones that I had, and the gel like ones, but apparently because it was like even the heel of the gel, it was still like hurting. It was like I said, blood circulation was like cutting off. That it was like eventually traveling, and then the bones in my toes were like hurting as well after standing for so long on concrete or tile or you know any of those hard structures.
And Matt, if I'm correct, the one you got was mid-range price. They go up to like $70, right?
Uh, I think yeah, that's like one of them I looked at was like 54, like almost $55. The one I got, like I said, 29.99, but plus tax and it's usually around like you said $35, which again paid off. But
Yeah. So at least you're enjoying. They're helping you out a little bit for now, right, Matt?
they're helping me out a lot. Never mind a little bit. I mean, because I obviously didn't wear them today because I was off. I actually been wearing my water shoes just around walking around right now, and it's like, and I basically bought them because like when we used to go kayaking a lot out into the channels and whatnot near closer toward the beach. I used to I because every time we pulled up to the shoreline, it's always like big rocky and shells all over the place, and like you're cutting your feet and whatnot. And um,
But the main thing I also told Matt was, if you don't like them, return them. You get a refund,
Mhm.
yeah,
and they don't mess around also with refunds.
No.
And he was like,
no,
I don't return stuff. I'm like, you got to start.
yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, I didn't. Obviously, I didn't have to go through all that process when I first tried these things on.
Hmm.
I thought I was gonna have to trim them a little bit, but apparently that wasn't the case either. So, it was just like perfect sizing. And
And the
obviously I was
bet,
just looking at it and it just showed like, yeah, you could choose different sizings on the ones that I bought. And apparently I didn't even notice that. And I just, the one that was selected already was apparently, my size range already. So voila.
the best
Um,
time to get them price wise is like on Amazon Prime Day. They're like half price.
yeah,
So something that
Amazon,
costs like $29, you get it for 14.
yeah. That's it. I mean, I was my Jill was an Amazon. I think she's an Amazon Prime subscriber still. I'm not sure because I was watching a whole bunch of stuff on. She created an account for me to watch stuff on Amazon Prime under her. Like you as the Amazon Prime subscriber, you can add like other people. So I think she either still paying for it or she canceled it. I know I signed up for Amazon Prime for a little bit because I wanted to watch some certain thing.
Yeah,
Then I just canceled it.
I'm hooked on that.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just resubscribed to Netflix. Only because I'm waiting desperately for when Outer Banks season 4 comes out, which I thought it would be out by now, but it's not. Because usually it's a summer series show. Um, Maybe it'll be out. Maybe maybe they're coming out in the fall this year because there's so much content to be covered. Um, but and then once I watch the episodes of that. Usually they release like all 10 episodes at once instead of having to wait like in the past where you had to wait like every week for a new episode to drop. Um, like Jill said that it happened for the first season of Outer Banks. You had to wait every week for a new episode to drop, and then once season 2 and 3 came along, they just released the whole 10 episodes together, which was nice. So you don't have to worry about waiting. Um, and then I'll just cancel it again, cancel my subscription. Same thing I do with Discovery Plus is I subscribe to Discovery Plus for like the week of Shark Week, and then I just cancel it. Because even if you subscribe for one thing, you still get that whole month. If you decide to cancel it like right away, you still got that whole month before the cancellation goes out. But anyway,
I got a good question for
you
Ray.
shut the lights out, Ian.
Yeah, no, it's just for a minute. I figured I'd cool it down, but
Turn
it
the
didn't help.
lights out.
Yeah.
I got a question for Ray. Since you're a Chicagoan now,
Mm-hmm.
do you eat deep dish pizza with salad or on its own?
That's funny. I didn't think about that, but I see a lot of the locals, some of the locals, when they do eat deep dish, they eat it with salad sometimes. I just eat it on its own.
The
Yeah.
closest I came to deep dish was a place on Wall Street when I worked at I used to work at the World Trade Center, but it looked like a Sicilian. Does it look like that or is it different?
No, it's different.
Nah.
It is so the traditional, like the deep dish stuffed pizza, which is what people typically refer to when they talk about Chicago deep dish. That is, so it's a deep pie. You got the crust on the bottom. It's done in a deep pan, of course. Then the cheese is stuffed in the middle. And then the sauce is actually on top. And then the toppings tend to be stuffed in with the cheese.
Are they expensive in Chicago?
If you were to get a large at like Giordano's, which is like one of the most popular ones, I think it runs you about 30 to 35 bucks now.
Do places sell it on like you get a slice for lunch or that doesn't really occur?
Some places do. I think the major chains like Lou Malnati's and Giordano's, they don't. But like the smaller chains, I think because they make deep dish and it doesn't sell as much because they're not known for it, they will sell it by the slice so that they can basically get rid of the product.
Do they have
Yeah.
regular pizza the way we know here?
Oh yeah. I've actually had a really good New York style pizza from a place called Jimmy's Cafe. And it was just like honestly, it's funny. Now that I've been thinking about it, it's one of the better cheese pizzas that I've ever had. And it's a New York style, but I've had it out here.
Ian, you live near that pizza place that they're all Yankee fans, right? That they have all the Yankee memorabilia.
No. Pizzeria with
Okay.
Yankee member? No.
Yeah, somewhere in Brooklyn. I just thought maybe you've been there or something.
No.
Ray, you ever went to that pizzeria, Ray?
In Brooklyn?
Yeah. They showed it on TV. The guy has like Yankee bats, Yankee signed photos.
No.
I'll have to search for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna search
I never
too.
heard of it. Even my time living in New York City on my days off. Because there was one time I remember on like my one day off, like I went like exploring around the city as far as then just to like look at see all the details of all the different Apple stores in New York City. Uh, and I think it's like the ones that I was definitely interested in seeing the ones in Brooklyn actually. Because there's the two in Brooklyn. There's the two in Brooklyn. So I like went all the way there. Just like I said, I was off, so it's like I was just it's my normal day.
Mhm.
Matt,
But,
do you eat pizza in Carolina?
oh, I eat pizza almost every day. They make pizzas for us whenever we're done prepping
Wow.
stuff at the restaurant. So I'll get a pizza from there if after if I go there on my days off. It's funny, and this restaurant, we make all types of pizza, and what you were saying, Henry, about like deep dish, I kind of like got it confused a little bit because we also make gluten-free pizzas, and they use those like little pans they use those good sized pans that actually look like they're deep dish pizzas as well. They're not like small, but they're like the good size 6, 8 inch pizzas that they look like. So I always got them confused between a deep dish and a gluten free one. But this restaurant we get all kinds of pizzas. We make a corn pie. We make a corn pie. With corn on it, which it's okay. It's not my preference. There's obviously a cheese based pie, and then you know with red sauce. There is obviously a white cheese pie. You could get that obviously you could get a margarita pizza. You could get a clam pizza with clams on it. It I had it. It's like definitely would never have it again. It was like not great at all. And then you could also get like other stuff like burgers. You could get salads. You could get they make and the pizza, for example, especially the cheese pie. I mean, it's so close to New York pizza. Actually, I mean the guy the one girl that makes the pizza most of the time when I'm there. I mean they're just phenomenal. They get the cheese, the crust like perfectly, like it's not like too thick like Domino's pizza or anything. It's perfectly sized. But and then they make awesome garlic knots as well, like New York style garlic knots.
I remember growing up in the late 60s, early 70s, and the only variation you could get was extra cheese or sausage, and then pepperoni appeared. What
Yeah,
about
and then
Ian, when you were a kid, did you like go to pizzerias?
Of course. Oh, yeah, I grew up in pizzerias. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Really
remember
is.
I was in Italy once in Rome. I went to a pizzeria, but that one in particular, they just made one big square. It was like an enormous Sicilian, a rectangle. They pulled it out, and then they're cutting. I mean, they go, and you got to go, no. You know,
it's like a
Yeah.
machine that cut it.
after getting this much. Because how do you tell them, no, just a piece, just a piece?
Yeah.
But I remember that.
Yeah.
Henry, was it like a machine that cut it or like actual hand cutting it?
No, the guy pulling it out. But that's all they made. I was stunned. Like when you go to
Oh, okay.
New Orleans and they have beignets, a traditional beignet is just like one flavor. Now they
Yeah.
have different flavors.
My cousin took me in the beignet place. That's right.
Yeah.
In New Orleans.
And those places are elegant. They have like walnut walls. Or like
Yeah.
they look like a law firm, and they sell just one thing and a coffee, right? Was it a coffee that you would drink with it, or I forgot?
Oh, yeah. But well, what I'm going to do is Matt got me hungry about 2-3 weeks ago with National Hot Dog Day. When I'm walking a little better, which I hope is soon, I'm going to the original Nathan's It's not far from here. I'm going to make a trip there.
How
Mhm.
far is that from you?
Just 6 stops at Coney Island.
I used
You
to
were there.
go
Remember
there.
we
Yeah,
went to the game
man.
there. Yeah, you were there.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
But look,
It's
I'm
funny.
gonna let you guys go. I gotta take care of some stuff, okay, gentlemen?
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, yo.
we've been on a while, but I'm glad everyone had a good time. Ray, sorry you missed the beginning of it. We had a little bit of a educational experience, as I'll say. Teaching these two guys on shark conservation.
Shark
Which
Week. Okay.
shark, yeah, just Shark Week extended version.
That's it. You got it.
But
The post game show.
I'm
Yes.
glad everyone enjoyed this stuff.
And Matt, thank
Yeah.
you so much for doing it.
And
Yeah,
Thanks for everything. Good job, Henry. Thanks for everything.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Um,
Yeah,
You
thank
too.
you for organizing it as always, Matt. As always, thank you.
Lastly, I'll just, I know it's not necessary, but I'll just apologize that I alarmed everybody at my little incident yesterday. It was just I told Henry and Ian this earlier, or Ian actually before Henry got on, is my dad, he came over today earlier because I was having a problem with my sink in my bathroom. Like it was draining, but it would drain very slowly. And like we pulled out the bottom pipe, it had all gook in it, like everything. And originally, like my dad originally filled up the sink and then like used the plunger to get it out, but then eventually he got underneath the sink and pulled the piping off too, and then there's
Mhm.
a whole bunch of gook like blocking everything.
Wow.
And then he either when he first came in or when he was leaving, I don't remember. He was asking me like, what was it actually that had you fall? And like he was like so worried. I mean, first of all, we were all three of us like worried, like my shunt malfunctioned again, and
Mhm.
I kind of like had confidence it wasn't my shunt because I really didn't have any pain in my head. It was mostly like my lower body, and then my dad today he was like asking me like, "What was it that made you fall?" Or like, what was it? I was like, because he was concerned like it was my upper body, like my chest doing. I was like, no, it was not that at all. Like I didn't have any chest pains or anything. It was actually
Mhm.
like my leg that was like jumping, like went like either cramp, like Henry was saying,
Mhm.
or it just like gave out. But it's just like my leg just kept jumping, and apparently I fell twice last night. First time I fell on my knee and scraped my knee a little bit. The second time I fell back on my butt, but it was just like my leg was jumping. And then once I got home and was able to just sit on the couch for a while before I like got up and went in the shower, I was like, it, but it was definitely alarming. And like
Mhm.
Joe was like always really alarmed, like, oh, she tried to get her one of our friends to come over and stay with me, like just to be sure, and or drive me to the ER if I had any issues. And so it was panic mode a little bit, but other than that, it was
And you feel better today, right? You feel better.
yeah, obviously I feel perfectly normal today. Like I had no symptoms, even if walking in. What's nice about when I walked to our friend's house for the cat earlier, there was actually a good breeze,
Mhm.
not heavy wind blowing, but good enough breeze this morning. But then walking later on, it's just brutal, like walking in the heat. But
Mhm.
I mean, I like it. I went when I walked home this morning. Jill and my dad were like, they were recommending, oh, maybe it was just your blood sugar that was low, and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe. And then so Joe was like recommended go drink some Gatorade. So I walked right to the convenience store when I got home, bought
Mhm.
4 bottles of Powerade because they didn't have, that's all they had for sport drink. They didn't really have um well, they also had that vitamin water, but But so I bought 4 Powerades and I bought another case of beer just because I thought every time my dad comes over, I just always have to, I just always want to anticipate. Oh, he wants to sit and have a beer before he leaves, but now I asked him. He's like he just wants to go to the bar that he usually goes to and then just drive home. So it's like, okay, fine. I'm never like that forceful. So but
And I'll
But
let you
yeah,
guys go now. Okay, I
yeah.
gotta go.
All right.
Okay. See you,
Have a
honey.
good
Thanks
night,
for everything,
everyone.
gentlemen.
Of
Thank
course.
you. It was
God
great
bless.
seeing
Matt,
great
Yeah.
seeing all of you.
You too.
Yeah,
Likewise.
you too, guys.
And we
Time
miss
for a hot
Harris,
dog.
right? We miss Harris.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Good night,
He's
guys.
with us. He's with us in spirit.
Yeah.
He always is.
Good night, guys.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
But Matt, I just
too.
wanted to say, do you think it's a nerve issue potentially?
I have no idea what it was. I mean, I had this in the past as far as like jumping. Like I remember when I was like much younger, we were still living at my mom's dream house. I was still in like high school or middle school at the time, and I was playing basketball with one of my friends from around the corner, and I had that happen too, and I told him like I'm sorry, man, I just got to stop. I need to go sit down, and it's the same issue. Like I think it was just like my, maybe just I needed to drink more sugar because it was hot out. Like and obviously not realizing because obviously the other when it happened yesterday, um I was pretty much in the restaurant. We drink soda all day long from the fountain sodas, all the time. So we're drinking soda, even if it's diet soda, like Diet Coke. There's still some sugar in it somewhere.
Mhm.
So it's like my dad was thinking, okay, maybe it wasn't your blood sugar, and because if you're drinking soda all day long, but
Yeah.
who knows what obviously just forget the past now because obviously I'm perfectly fine now, like nothing. I had no symptoms all day long, so
Mhm.
Okay.
but anyway,
Amen.
but all right, guys, have a great night.
You guys
Take
too.
care,
Wonderful
and
seeing everyone.
again, as soon as the recording is done, as
Mhm.
always, I actually found it just easier to upload these meetings to my YouTube channel, rather than trying to email it to you guys all the time. Because then you get like those email errors like, oh, file's too big, or stuff like that. And so, even if I try sending it in like a message, it's like a text message, it's too big too, and you have to deal with all those issues and whatnot. YouTube, I don't have to deal with that, so I just found that like, hey, I'll just start uploading them to YouTube, and then it'll just be easier to view all the time rather than like in the past when I send them to you guys like email or whatnot. It always came like, oh, you have until so and so to download before it's removed or something like that. That iCloud link or something. But all right, guys. Good night. We'll talk
Okay.
again. I'll come up with another date eventually down the road.
Okay, you guys.
All right.
Always be
guys.
safe,
Good night,
gentlemen. Love you guys.
Yes.
Have a
You
good
too,
one.
partner.
Love you guys
Thank you.
too. See
Thanks,
ya.
buddy.
I
Okay.
love you
Be
guys.
well. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.